Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our weekly political program on Lagos television, The Pendulum. I am Ajibola Ojeshola. This afternoon on the program, we'll be looking at a wide range of issues. Of course, the ADC coalition is one of our topmost topic for today. We'll also look at the quest for a new constitution in the country, as well as that special bill trying to create special seat for women in the polity. These are some of the issues that we'll be looking at on the program today. But quickly, we need to go on a very short break to bring you the summary of top political stories in the country. Stay with us. We'll be right back. You're still watching the Pendulum on Lagos television. That was a summary of political news in the country as we speak. Once again, we'll be looking at the state of the nation on the program this afternoon vis-a-vis the ADC coalition and how they are threatening to take over power from the incumbent president, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. How far can they go in their quest to wrestle power from the ruling party, which is the APC? We know those who are members of that coalition under the platform of ADC. The former vice president is there. The former governor of Rivers State is there. The former governor of Osun State is also there, as well as the former governor of Kaduna State. Of course, the former SGF, Boss Mustafa, is also part of those who are rearing to wrestle power from the APC come 2027. We'll also discuss those that are clamoring for special status for Lagos. We all know how members of the National Assembly moved from different parts of the country on the quest for a new constitution. And in Lagos here, major stakeholders are actually demanding for a special status for Lagos. So these are some of the issues that we'll be looking at on the program this afternoon. We have joining us via Zoom a lawmaker representing the people of Koshofe Federal Constituency in the Green Chamber of the National Assembly, Honorable Kafilat Agbara. She's joining us via Zoom from the Federal Capital Territory. It's a pleasure to have you this afternoon, Honorable. Okay, she's yet to join, and I'm sure in a couple of minutes she will be joining us from the National Assembly complex to come and do justice to our topic for today. We'll also be looking at that special bill before members of the National Assembly trying to reserve certain number of seats for women in politics. Of course, We'll also look at the quest for a new constitution. Do we actually need a new constitution in the country, or we should think out with that of 1999, which we have amended a couple of times? So we'll be hearing our own perspective on the quest for a new constitution for the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So these are some of the issues that we'll be looking at on the program this afternoon. Once again, we'll be looking at the state of the nation, and Honorable Kafilat Ogbara, Member House of Reps representing Koshofe Federal Constituency, is our guest on the program this afternoon. She's joining us via Zoom from the Federal Capital Territory. Yeah, good afternoon, Honorable.
Good afternoon.
All right.
Thank you for having me.
It's our pleasure always. Is the National Assembly not on recess again?
Definitely we are on recess, but of course we have some committee meetings here and there. And of course, you know that for us, the committee for the advocacy on the reserved seat bill, we are still working day by day, non-stop.
Okay, let's start from that very sensitive issue that you just mentioned now. That bill for a special seat for women in the polity. What is it all about, and how is it going to change the perception as to the number of seats that we allocate to women in the polity generally?
Well, the reserved or special seats for women bill is a bill that is seeking for something very simple and easy to achieve. It's only seeking for an extra seat for the Senate in every state, knowing fully well that we have 3 senators per state. So we want an extra one that it will only be women that will contest across party lines. Also seeking to have an extra seat for the House of Representatives. Whether you have 9 in a state, it should now be 10. For instance, in Lagos, we have 24 House of Representative members. It will now be 25, one extra one. That will be contested by women across party lines. And of course, 1 per senatorial district for the Houses of Assembly, making 3 per state for the Houses of Assembly. So this is just for us to have inclusion of our women, because you know that the men have been there for too long, and the representation of women in legislative arm of government and of course in decision making generally has been alarmingly low. So this is just a temporary measure to be able to, make up for the deficits that we have had in the past, to give women a sense of belonging and of course the right, place for them to be able to look into their own issues, air their views, their perceptions, their own ideology, bring everything on board so that they can be embedded in the policy making and implementation of all the policies of the government.
Indeed, women have been shortchanged when you look at the number of women rather representing us in the Green Chamber of the National Assembly. I think out of 360, we have about 15, and in the Senate, we have about 4, if I'm correct.
Yeah, that's it. In the House of Representatives, we have 15 now. We lost one of us. We used to be 16.
Okay.
And in the Senate, we have just 4. And that is just less than 4%. It's really, it's not good enough for the country. And when we are talking about women representation, we are speaking about growth and development. When women are properly positioned, definitely, we are optimistic that the nation will be better for it.
Absolutely, absolutely. So as a woman, one of the strong voices in the Green Chamber of the National Assembly, how do you feel that out of 360, you just have 15 of you trying to represent your constituents there?
It's not a good feeling at all, because most of the time we find out that we need to form a quorum on certain issues, and we are not able to do that because you are too few to speak. And even as few as we are, we don't always have the privilege of being, positioned properly, despite the fact that we are so few. We have to talk, we have to clamor, we have to plead, we have to, lobby to be properly positioned, despite the fact that we are very few. So, but if we have more women, we are talking about women being empowered. When women are there, not just empowered financially or in terms of resources, when women are empowered politically and in all ramifications, and they are able to make decisions, the nation will be empowered because they will be looking into issues that affect their children, that affect the environment, that affects development. Because basically, if you look at women generally, what do we really think about? The first thing we think about is family. That's the first thing that comes to a woman's mind. But men, you know that you have a lot of other issues that occupy your mind. So when a woman is okay in the home, you look at the primary unit of a home. When a woman is okay in the home, the society is better for it, because if this home is good, the other home is good, that one is good, that's what makes the society, that's what makes the world. So it's a global thing, it's not even just a Nigerian thing. And we have a lot of countries that have experimented this, and they are doing very well, like South Africa, like Senegal, like Uganda, and a lot of other ones like that. And they are doing very, very well. You have even countries that have female presidents, and they are doing very well. So we need to experiment the intelligence, the gender lens of our women in Nigeria. A lot of women in the financial sector, if you look at our financial sector, you know that we have a lot of our women there, and you can testify that they are doing excellently well. And that sector is relatively stable. If you want to look at sectors that are, very viable in the country today, is our financial sectors, and you see that a lot of women are heading a lot of our banking industries.
Yeah.
So it is very, very crucial, very important, even for our global reputation. We go out to a lot of countries and they come with like half delegation women, half delegation men, and Nigeria appears with no woman most of the time, or rather just with one woman. So this is very appalling. It's not good for the image of our country, and we need to make the amend as soon as possible. We are not being combative, we are not being, aggressive, we are not being, violent about it. We are just explaining and seeking that we come together and see reason to why women must be properly positioned, why women must be properly included, why women must be properly carried along in all aspects, not just this legislative arm that we are seeking. It's an avenue for us to clamor. And we're also saying that the reserve seats bill that we are talking about does not deprive the women of contesting for the legitimate seats that we normally contest. Like I am representing Koshofe Federal Constituency. If the bill is passed, it's not for the political party to now push me that, you people now have a reserve seat, go and contest for the... No, I have a right to still contest in Koshofe Federal Constituency, while another woman seek to contest to go to Senate or go to the House of Rep. Or if I want, I may choose to contest to go to Senate, or, I have the choice.
Okay, are you also employing the method of lobbying? I know lobbying is part of the process of...
We are not relenting, all thanks to the leadership of the House, especially Mr. Speaker, the E.S. Zauzau, the he for she hero of our time, who is spearheading this campaign, and of course the Deputy Speaker, who is the sponsor of the bill. We have consolidated the bill. I'm also a co-sponsor. I also have a bill, the same bill. They are all very similar. So we have consolidated the bills together, and we are pushing forward the one led by the Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, because we believe that when men speak for women, we have the mileage, we have the better opportunity to be able to get our results. So we are all backing this bill to ensure that we get the results. And of course, the Senate as well. We have the political will from the leadership of the Senate as well. Most importantly, the executive arm of government. We know that the president of the country today, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, this is a man that is most gender sensitive. He is the only one, as we speak in Nigeria today, that I know as a president that has allowed his wife to contest the Senate 3 times, 12 consecutive years. So what more gender sensitivity can we ask for? So we believe that there is no better time than now, when we have the political will. And of course, all the strategies are in place. The advocacy is ongoing. The campaign is non-stop. We have our development partners there also seeking, to lend their hands, to lend their voice, and also lend their support. So we have a lot of support all over the place, even though finally we are still waiting on our legislators, the men especially, to support this bill. And we have started to lobby a lot of them, and we are getting very good response. And for your information, don't forget that the Constitutional Review Committee, of which I am a member of that committee as well, we have moved around the country. We've gone to the Southwest Zone, the Southeast, the South-South, all over, Northwest, North Central. And the reception has been very, very encouraging, and we are very positive that by the time we get back, when we resume in September, the passage of this bill will be very convenient for us. Even though we have set a lot of subcommittees to go down, especially to the northern area, to meet with our ulamas, the alfas, the imams, and all of them, so that they get to understand that this bill is not discriminatory, is not confrontational. We are only seeking that they encourage the women, because as we speak, we have about 14 states in the north, especially, that do not have female representation at all in the houses of assembly.
Okay.
So we need to move away from that point to ensure that women are properly represented. And we also have some states that women cannot even dare paste their poster that they want to contest.
Wow.
We still have states like that in this country in the north, where members of my committee have, attested to that. So we need to change that narrative. We need to change that cultural stereotype. We need to change, that perception that a woman should not come out. Because when they say that once a woman tries that, they go about castigating such a woman, that she now wants to defy their culture, she now wants to become a prostitute, she now wants to do this and that and all that. And then, such a woman is relegated and, victimized and also sort of embarrassed. So we need to move away from that. And the campaign is not going. We are not relenting. The campaign is not stopping. We are moving on day by day to ensure that we get the desired result of which we are optimistic that we'll get it.
Okay, I pray you also get it as well. Okay, talking about the quest for a new constitution now, you just told us now that you've been to different parts of the country, trying to tweak the 1999 constitution as amended. This quest for a new constitution, do you think we should have a fresh one, or we should continue to amend and adjust the one that we are using presently, which is that of 1999, as amended?
Well, it's okay for people to seek for a brand new constitution. It's in order. There's nothing wrong in people thinking that if we have a brand new constitution. But pursuant to section 4, 8, and 9 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and of course the rules of the House as well, rule number 20, the order 20 and rule number 30 of the House order, the rules of the House, we have the right as the House of Representatives to, amend the law and see how we can change whatever perception we have about the law. So, and this has, given us the power, and this is why we are moving around all the zones to seek for the amendment on a number of, issues. And I'm very sure that a lot of these issues, too, will be similar to what people that are seeking for the new constitution are also, looking at. We have a lot of issues like fundamental human rights, fiscal reforms, electoral reforms. And in fact, if you look at that electoral reforms, we have a lot of bills on it that has to do with, independent candidacy. Some believe that, as a Nigerian, I don't have to rely on a political party or the gatekeepers of a political party before I can contest. I believe I'm qualified, I'm good enough, and I have what it takes to be a governor or to be a president or be anything in the elective arm of government. So they want to contest on their own. So people have clamored for this. It's one of the bills that we are looking at. People have clamored that we waste so much money, time, resources, energy, and all that on elections, in different days. So they are seeking that we should have our elections in one single day. That is also part of the electoral reform that we are looking at. We have the issue of ensuring that someone is not having two elected positions. There are some people in our political parties, whether they are national publicity secretary, whether they are whatever in the political party, they still want to go and contest election. You want to be governor, you want to be this, you want to be that, and you are still holding a political party office. So there are a lot of reforms that people are looking at to ensure that we get, the right perspective. People have also said that INEC should not be nominated by any president, probably by the National Judicial Council. Different options. So these are some of the areas that I think even those that are clamoring for the new constitution are looking at. So we have a lot of things that we are taking around the country on local government reform, on state creation, on judicial reform. We also strengthening of our institutions, traditional institutions, citizenship and indigenship, and to let you know that open how do I put it? The outing that we went for people to say whether they want it or they don't want it, the whole public hearing has given us the insight as to what people want. For instance, the indigenship, we had a lot of people vehemently rejected that indigenship. And after that, the sponsor of that bill had to take it off the plate. The deputy speaker of the House of Representatives, he made a public, announcement on that he's withdrawing the bill from the House. So if we didn't go out to see the perception of people, to hear from the people, to know what people really want and what they don't want, we may not know that people don't want the indigenship, because that bill was seeking that when people are giving birth to in a particular state, or they have stayed there for like 10 years, or they are married there, they should be given automatic indigenship. And people are like, no, you want people to come and take over our states? They rejected it. So there are a lot of issues like that. So if there are people that are seeking for new constitution, and they still think that after all these amendments, and today, if you talk about Nigeria's constitution of the Federal Republic, you will hear people say as amended, as amended, as amended, because a lot has been amended in the constitution. Okay. And if you hold the original copy of the constitution of 1999 and you hold the ones that are there, you will find out that the constitution is almost
new.
A new one, because a lot has been amended and a lot is still being amended.
Okay.
So it's not in a bad light if we think, okay, all the things you have amended, we want to now look at it and say that this constitution is being changed or whatever. Or depending on a majority, we have a law, we have rules, and we have the National Assembly. So if majority decides that, oh look, this constitution that we are using, we have not amended enough, or we have amended enough, or we need a new one, it's up to majority of the votes. But for me, I think most importantly is implementing what you have in the constitution.
Okay.
When you look at the constitution of this country and issues arise, you find out, so we have this in the constitution, you'll be shocked, because most people don't even know the content of the constitution. How many people have a copy of the constitution in their homes? So there's so much embedded in that constitution, but
people are not aware.
Actually implementing what the constitution says to the letter.
Okay, so for this new constitution or this amendment trip that you have taken to different parts of the country, what kind of feelers did you get as regards the creation of state police?
Yes, security and policing. A lot of states want us to have state policing because of the level of insecurity that we have in the country. And some of us are of the opinion that, well, if that is what the people want, why not? But some of us too, I'm talking about the members of the House, feel that, look, this country is not ripe enough to have state policing because it will be politicized. If there is a governor that has the security apparatus in his beck and call, definitely he can use that security machinery to manipulate elections, to do whatever he likes. Even as we speak today, people believe that the security personnel that are being deployed to a lot of states are being manipulated. A lot of people still don't even trust in the security machinery that we have from the federal level. Not to talk of when such police machinery are directly, answerable to the governors of such states. So we have different opinions, it's neither here nor there. But when we get to the point of voting, people will vote their conscience and also vote to whatever they think is best in the interest of Nigerians. So we have been able to collect a lot of, the position paper of a lot of people. People had the opportunity to speak on what they want, what they think, what they view. And people that were not able to really, enumerate their positions, to us verbally, were able to submit their position papers. And, the committee is working day and night on these papers, including the consultants that are looking at everything, the experts that are looking at all these position papers to ensure that we come up with the best in the interest of Nigeria and, of course, in the interest of Nigerians.
We have spoken so much about Nigeria, and Charity, they say, starts from home. I know you are representing the people of Koshofe Federal Constituency, but you are carrying the responsibilities of Lagosians in general. During that trip of this constitutional amendment consultations here and there are some people who are saying that Lagos actually should be accorded a special status. What's your perspective on this?
Well, if the Lagos state government is clamoring for special status for Lagos, or the indigenes of Lagos State are clamoring for special status for Lagos State, I think even all the residents in Lagos State that are Nigerians, because Lagos is Nigeria, that is meaning Nigeria for you.
It is.
Because that is one state that the population there is something else. I think Lagos is housing over 15 million to 20 million people. That is highly populous, and I think that is the most populous state in Nigeria and even in Africa. And I think Lagos State is also the fastest growing city, even in the world. So it is legitimate, it is licit, it is legal, it is lawful, it is valid, and I even think it is overdue, long overdue, for Lagos to have a special status, because by the GDP that Lagos is having, I think we are contributing about $260 billion or thereabouts. That is huge. So for a state like that, definitely we should have a special status. And I think the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission also paid a sport assessment visit, and on the sport assessment visit to Lagos recently. And the National Assembly, we are waiting for that report. Because we're already hearing that Lagos is contributing about 33% of revenue to the coffers of the federal government. So this is about 1/3. So if this is true, once we get the report at the National Assembly, then definitely some of us representing from Lagos State will stand up, sit up, and ensure that we push for this special status and get the results that we ought to get. Because a state like Lagos State that is densely populated like that, when you're talking about overpopulation, that is Lagos State. And when you talk about population in a space as small as Lagos State, then you are talking about pressure.
Yeah.
Pressure.
It's obvious.
Pressure in terms of infrastructure, transportation, even the water supply, waste management, even environmental degradation, and a lot. Because in Lagos State, it is in Lagos State that I have seen a house where normally that room is just for probably 2 or 3, 4 people.
And you have 10 people
and
there.
And then you see like 20 people, 25 people. They will line up like this, sleeping on the floor, and the space that each individual is lying on is just the space or the size of the body of that person.
Wow.
So you can imagine like that. And they do collective rentage. I don't know how the adjective to use to qualify it. They put their money together, probably rent a duplex, like 20 people contributing money, rent a duplex, and like 100 people are living in the house. This is the story of Lagos.
Okay.
We cannot continue like this. We need more housing facilities. We need more infrastructure. We need more roads. We need to open up Lagos. We have a lot that Lagos needs to do. And we need more allocation, more funding. And the federal government should see Lagos State as a special case that needs special, attention. Of course, I support the special status for Lagos State.
We cannot end this interview without asking you what you have done at your constituency level to impact your people so far in the House of Reps.
Well, in my constituency, you know that I'm chairman House Committee on Women Affairs and Social Development, and I'm underfunded.
Wow.
I don't have much funding, but by the grace of God, I've been able to facilitate a lot to my constituency. I've been able to impact in terms of, ensuring that I facilitated 2 ICT centers to my constituency. I've also been able to facilitate an old people's home for them. I've been able to empower a lot of our women with grants of 200,000 naira each. Thousands of women have benefited from this, and their businesses are growing. And of course, in my constituency as well, I've been able to ensure that I help, a lot of our young people in terms of job placement, influence them in terms of job placement, university placement for admission and all that. And also, I've been able to facilitate a lot of boreholes. Water is a problem in my constituency, and I've tried my very best to ensure that I facilitated a lot of boreholes for my constituency. And of course, I've also been able to train our women in financial knowledge, how to manage their funds. I've been able to help the girl children. I do a lot of programs for my girl children in my constituency. And I also do endless palliatives.
Oh.
You know that after the removal of subsidy, of which, you know, government, the federal government means well to have done, we have been able to do a lot of palliative to augment this. The ICT initiative also have been able to facilitate that for the artisans in my constituency so that they can be trained, and then they are also able to train other people that wants to learn how to do it. Okay. And of course, in my constituency as well, I've been able to light up my constituency across the board with facilitation of a lot of solar lights to different estates, different areas, so that the place will be light. You know, there will be light in areas that need to be, you know, light up. Okay. And of course, in Agboyi, the water side, I've been able to facilitate the very first secondary school that they need in that axis to the place. They have lacked secondary school there for decades. So I've been able to facilitate that. They didn't have lights for almost a year as well. God also used me to facilitate, you know, a transformer for them and also energize the transformer for them. Okay. And of course, in my constituency, I did a heritage talk for school children. It's a continuous thing where we allow our school children to go and learn about the heritage of Lagos, the culture, what Lagos State stands for, and all that. We do that at interval now and then. And also there's a program I do for my constituents every quarter. We are doing another one probably next week, free cooking gas for all my constituents. When we pick a local government, I have 3 local governments, Agboike to Ikosisheri, and of course, Koshofe local government. So once we pick a designated local government and a designated filling station, all my constituents, every resident is entitled to bring their empty filling cooking gas to the place so that it can be refilled. Except you don't get there. That is when you don't get the you know, cooking gas. And I normally supervise that myself. Okay. Because I like to have results. I don't like excuses. So I like to supervise it myself. I share the tickets myself to ensure that every person on the line, they know that they have to be orderly. It's now a tradition, and they know what I want, they know what I don't want. Okay, Honorable
so we might have to.
And then
I'm sorry to
interrupt. You are saying something, I can't hear you.
Yeah, I'm saying that we might have to bring you back on this program because of time. We must thank you very much.
Okay. Time has gone.
Yes, for sharing your thoughts with us.
And we have not even said much. We have not allowed me enumerate what our government has done.
We need to have a part 2.
And a lot of others.
We need to have a part 2.
Maybe some other time. That's fine.
We need to have a part 2 of this interview. We must thank you very much for your time on the program this afternoon.
Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure. Okay, I've been speaking with Honorable Kafilat Ogbara, Member House of Reps, representing Koshofe Federal Constituency on the State of the Nation. She was able to tell us what the Committee on the Amendment of the Constitution was able to gather, of course, traveling around the country, of course, how she has been able to impact our constituent right here in Lagos in Koshofe Federal Constituency. We'll be going on a very short break now to bring you the soundbite of the week, and when we come back, we'll be wrapping up the show. Stay with us.
The Forum of ADC State Chairman viewed this attempted takeover as an insult to all those who believe in and have labored for democratic governance in Nigeria. It is illegal. The African Democratic Congress ADC remain a party committed to democratic principles, the rule of law, ideology, clarity, and peaceful political engagement. We have never and will never be a platform for political machineries or ideology imposture. If the coalition led by Senator David Mark and their agent of subversion are determined to pursue their sinister ambition, they are advised to create their own party or look elsewhere. The Forum of ADC State Chairman viewed this attempted takeover as an insult to all those who believe in and have labored for democratic governance in Nigeria. It is illegal. The African Democratic Congress ADC remain a party committed to democratic principles, the rule of law, ideology, clarity, and peaceful political engagement. We have never and will never be a platform for political machineries or ideology imposture. If the coalition led by Senator David Mark and their agent of subversion are determined to pursue their sinister ambition, they are advised to create their own party or look elsewhere.
Okay, that was Godwin Alaku, Publicity Secretary, concerned State Chairman of the ADC, which is the platform for the coalition striving to wrestle power from the ruling party APC in 2027. The State Chairman are saying that they do not recognize the leadership of David Mark, the former Senate President, as well as the leadership of the former Governor of Osun State, Rauf Aregbesola, and they are not going to leave their party for Atiku Abubakar, Nasir El-Rufai, and others who are part of this coalition. So again, that was Godwin Alaku, Publicity Secretary, Constant State Chairman of the ADC, denying the leadership of the party under Senator David Mark. That's the program this afternoon. We thank you very much for watching. Do remember to join us next week at 3 p.m. when we shall be discussing another topic in the polity. We thank you very much for watching once again. I am Ajibola Ojoshola. I'll see you then.